Welcome everyone, Christine here on Serious Gaming with a look at a Song of Ice and Fire custom map in Warcraft 3. There's still a very active map making community in Warcraft 3 even right now. After all these years, there's still people that make maps for this game, and this is one of the more popular maps for Game of Thrones. Actually, it's probably the only map that's played, and it's played quite a decent amount by people right now in Warcraft 3, and I'm here just to look at how it is, what you need to take into account, how it plays, and all that. It's a spawn-based game, so you have bases, and units spawn at these bases. The number of units spawned and their quality increases over time, and you can capture enemy bases in all of them, that is, and get units from this. For instance, as the Lannisters, which is red, you can capture Riverrun, and you'll get units from Riverrun. You can also get units from the Twins, or the Eyrie, or whatever you want. There's a lot of things to take into consideration depending on who you're playing. There's obviously, this is a bug because this is not supposed to happen, but it's happening because I enabled, I see that people, I removed the fog of war just so people could see what we have here. Blue is the Starks. Okay, looking at the colors, dark green is the undead, pink is the Mance Raider, black is, well, the Night's Watch, obviously. Right. Blue, the Starks, the North. Light blue, the Eyrie, the Vale, that is. Teal is Riverrun, right? Brown are the Greyjoys, red the Lannisters, gray is it's King's Landing. Yellow is Stannis, who you can see, well, actually he's right here, Stannis Baratheon. Green is Highgarden and the Stormlands, Renly essentially, who is here with his Rainbow Guard right here, right? And orange is, Dorne. Daenerys can be gained by Dorne through an event if you desire to go down that path. Every faction has paths they can pick from, like for instance is Grey, which is the color I went with. Grey gets Tyrion or Cersei or the Faith. Right? There's various paths you can go on. And there's quite a lot of events in the game as well to take into consideration. The basic gameplay is that you spawn units, you can capture like Duskin Vale or Maidenpool, various important points and towers, right? Like you've got Rosby or tower plots. You destroy these, and there you gain tower plots. Like build plots small, and you can build towers there with resources. You gain resources the more buildings you have, and the more mana these buildings have. And that's how it works. You also have elite units, like for instance, Grey has the Kingsguard. That makes perfect sense, right? Red has Red has the Golden Lion here in Casterly Rock, and you can get siege equipment, you can get spies, and you can get more of these elite units, right? Like Golden Lions. Right. And you've got these various paths. So, as Grey, at one point in the game, it won't happen immediately. You will have a duel between Bronn and the Captain of the Guard in the Vale. I forget his name. Anyway, it really doesn't matter. It happens here. You got Bronn, you got Sir Varus. Bronn will generally win this, but you can still win it with Varus. If Varus wins this, then Tyrion is killed, and Bronn obviously is dead as well. But if Bronn wins, then you get the ability to go as Grey as Tyrion path, in which case you will lose Janos Slynt. You'll lose him automatically if Bronn wins that duel. You'll gain Tyrion automatically at one point or another. You can prevent that though if you lose the duel, so there's various benefits there to that happening. Alliances are not strict, so for instance as Grey you can ally red after a certain time limit. You can ally red and ally whoever you want. Same with green, yellow, orange, and certain alliances trigger certain events. So for instance, if as black, you ally pink, then you will, you will obviously gain a powerful alliance. But in order to give dark green a fair chance, what will happen is that as black, you'll lose quite a bit in terms of heroes because the Night's Watch won't be happy with your choice right there, right? But there will be gains for, for both sides when it comes to that. Incidentally, dark green can, or at least used to, be able to destroy bases. And for dark green, the path he picks radically changes the army he gets. His base is here generally. There's nothing here because dark green has to pick a path. But dark green is really, really powerful. He's capable of going alone against pretty much everyone and just destroying everyone in his path. Then you've got various things. You've got various bonuses in certain buildings. So, for instance, in King's Landing, you've got the Great Sept, which gives you 1% additional health and mana regeneration. They're strong points. Like, Grey doesn't have a powerful army. He won't get that many units. But what Grey does have is a very strong defensible position and arguably the single best hero group in the game. And he does start with his max elites from the start, who have the ability to throw their swords. You can stun lock a target. You can also heal with these elite units. And there's the event with Braun and Varus. You can use Windwalk, for instance, with Braun for that to happen. Right. And that will happen. There will be a fight. There's also the Tower of Joy if you want to recreate that climactic battle where Eddard Stark and his loyal bannermen, his loyal companions, fought in the Tower of Joy against the Three Kings Guard, Sir Arthur Dane, Sir Geralt Hightower, or as well went. They all, the only two people. There were only two people who actually survived this battle. And if you go through here, these guys are really powerful. They've got a lot of HP, like 2,000 HP, right? Or Sir Geralt has close to 3,000 HP. If you defeat these guys, you can get some very sweet items with them. Right, and there you go. You get that. And once this event does happen, light blue does, light blue will eventually get the Eerie, and there will be various events that trigger there. Right. So for instance, if I type in Cersei, right, Cersei will throw Tyrion in a black cell. She'll join the fray. That quite doesn't make sense itself, but she'll join the fray. There, and you'll get Cersei. It's not really, there's benefits and negatives to that particular thing. You also get Varus if you want to. Varus has various abilities here, which some of them cost mana, others. You can.
What is your wish?
You can you can execute Varus if you so desire. You can. You can do a lot of things, like reveal an area or reduce the target enemy units, right? Or do a bunch of stuff.
What is your wish?
When it comes to that, the basic gameplay is that you're fighting across the land. You're fighting on these strong points. As red, you can rush Harrenhal, which isn't ruined, but you can restore Harrenhal. You can take it, you can restore it to its real glory, and you'll get more units from there. You can get spawned units from there. These guys aren't spawning because there's no player controlling their units at the moment. This is a custom game in single player. If this was multiplayer, obviously units would be spawning there. To look at the various colors and what they have to deal with, what challenges. Black and pink either fight each other or ally, but generally they have to contend with dark green, who's a far more powerful player than both of them, really. And that's kind of the problem. But they'll fight each other, and they'll fight, dark green, and you've got Corran, Jorah Mormont, Jon Snow, all that. Then blue teal will have to fight, will have to contend with brown, and red and gray. No, alliances are fluid. Just keep that in mind. Alliances are very, very fluid in this game. light blue has to deal with the mountain clans. Once he deals with the mountain clans, it's basically fighting the creeps, defeating the creeps, defeating Shaggal, that stuff. Yeah, Shaggal is just basically creep. Once you do defeat the creeps, you'll gain a powerful army, and you can basically go south, fight all of that. It's a very dynamic map. You can have a lot of factions fighting each other or allying each other. Yellow, yellow is here. He starts the territory here. There's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of fights. You can do whatever you want. You can ally whoever you want. You can break alliances at any point. But the tendency is, from games that I've played, is teal, blue, fight red and gray, potentially yellow and brown. Brown and yellow will generally throw themselves in that fray. They'll ally, one side or another, depending on the player in question. When it comes to green and orange, they can either ally or fight each other. That's the tendency. Orange can gain Daenerys if he so desires, or he can gain other paths. The paths are detailed at the beginning of the game. There's some text at the beginning of the game, and so you want to pay attention to that. So if this is one event, Joffrey executes Eddard Stark. Happened in the books, happened in the show. But if Joffrey dies, you get Joffrey, who is the king of Westeros. He's got the crown, which is a powerful item that has a restore of health and mana. If Joffrey dies, getting Tyrion will not prevent Janos Slynt from dying. It just kind of is an event there. Anyway, if you go Tyrion, Cersei and Pycelle will be thrown in Black Cell. Not necessarily the best path available. Incidentally, Joffrey is a very powerful hero. He starts as a sub-hero or a demi-hero, basically. But if he gains a certain level, I think it's 10 or something along those lines, once he gains a certain level, he becomes really, really powerful. Red has Jaime, Kevin, obviously Tywin, and he can get Rhaegar Clegane, who's a very powerful, but he's a pretty big hero. You've got that Tali, you've got plenty of stuff here. Yeah, it's admittedly it's not one of my favorite maps, but it's a pretty reasonable map. It's got a lot of people interested in it, a lot of people enjoy playing it, so there's that, if you're interested. That's all I had to say on the subject. Costin, signing out.